Imagine closing your eyes and recalling the very moment you first felt that spark, that dizzy rush of excitement about someone who seemed to truly see you in all your quirks and insecurities. Now imagine, months or even years later, you find yourself numb in the same living room where you once laughed freely, numb from the silent treatments, from the subtle jabs at your goals, from the lingering sense that your love story has been hijacked by illusions of grandeur. This is the painful reality for so many who fall in love with someone harboring narcissistic traits. In our 5th episode exploring narcissism in love and marriage, we'll unravel the exhausting dilemma of how narcissists expand their web of control beyond just their spouses, targeting siblings, parents, children, and even your circle of friends. If you've ever caught a chill when your partner's mother recounted your private disputes at a family gathering, or if you're confused why your best friend is suddenly siding with your partner, sit tight. By the end of this video, you'll know how narcissists artfully spin entire social ecosystems to their advantage and, crucially, how you can protect your emotional space without sacrificing the best parts of who you are. Picture celebrities like actress Meghan Markle, who weathered endless scrutiny and complicated family dynamics. While I'm not labeling those around her as narcissists, her experience shows us a public microcosm of in-laws, siblings, and the entire media swirling with narratives, some fueled by attention-seeking or personal gain. Real life can feel shockingly similar, the smear campaigns, the emotional blackmail, the whispered phone calls. So stay with me, because if you're feeling alone in that chaotic swirl, there is a path forward. At any moment, if something resonates, do me a favor, drop "I see it now" in the comments. Your words might give someone else the validation they desperately need. Now let's dive deeper with a real story, names changed, of course, where a narcissistic partner didn't just corner their spouse but systematically wove a net around the entire extended family, using every relationship as a tool of control. Andrea was a creative soul, an up-and-coming wedding photographer who thrived behind the camera lens. She had a strong bond with her younger sister, Jade, often joking that Jade was her second set of eyes on life. Enter Kevin, confident, witty, and seemingly unstoppable. He managed local businesses and boasted about turning everything he touched into gold. Their courtship was lightning fast. Kevin dazzled Andrea with just enough flattery about her photography career, plus glimpses of a smooth future. In the first months of their marriage, Andrea was riding high. But small details began to pile up, a scornful glance whenever she texted Jade, or an offhand remark about how Andrea's father didn't respect Kevin's advice on finances. Kevin would say, "It's mind-blowing how naive your family is about money. I guess we should feel sorry for them." Andrea found it jarring, this was her beloved father he was insulting. Yet, Kevin's tone could shift, sugarcoating with a phrase like, "But don't worry, I'll guide them if needed." One weekend, Andrea discovered that Kevin had phoned Jade behind her back. Jade was upset, revealing that Kevin tried to angle Jade against Andrea. "He told me you're not as skilled at photography as you think, and maybe I should keep an eye on your spending. He even implied you had bigger debts than you let on." Andrea felt her stomach drop. Then came the bigger shock. Kevin had also been texting Andrea's father with warnings that Andrea was getting rebellious. Kevin spun it as if Andrea was drifting into irresponsible financial decisions, possibly needing an intervention from the family. Andrea confronted Kevin, but he brushed it off. "I'm just caring for you, sweetie. If your family's naive or easily riled up, that's not my fault." Over time, Andrea noticed her parents and siblings were oddly distant, uncertain whether to believe Kevin or trust Andrea. She felt cornered. Each family get-together turned into an inquisition about her spending or her new photography gear. Jade grew defensive around Andrea, suspecting Andrea might be hiding something. This environment weighed heavily on Andrea's creativity, draining her desire to book new clients or explore her artistry. The heartbreak wasn't confined to her marriage bed, it laced through her entire family dynamic. In the next segments, we'll dissect how Kevin's manipulations exemplify the narcissist's broader strategy, to rope in every possible person, be it sibling, parent, or friend, into their scheme of total control. A narcissistic partner's quest for control isn't restricted to you. They know that to truly dominate your sense of self, they must infiltrate your entire support network. Recall how Kevin systematically targeted Jade and Andrea's father. Why? Because if he gets them to question Andrea's judgment or side with him, Andrea's left with minimal emotional backup. Think about it, if a narcissist sets sibling against sibling or even triggers parental doubt in a child's reliability, the narcissist stands to benefit. You lose the immediate sounding boards who typically validate your perspective, leaving you more reliant on your narcissistic partner for emotional feedback. It's basically relational sabotage. Narcissists might pose as the well-intentioned spouse just trying to help your family or friends see the bigger picture about you. Or they may use the veneer of caring about your mental well-being. I worry about them, they say, they're under so much stress. But behind the scenes, they feed your circle partial truths, twisted stories, like Kevin calling Jade to spin a narrative that Andrea was incompetent or that she was secretly reckless. By the time you discover it, the damage is done, your once trusting circle now sees you through a suspicious lens. If you catch your narcissistic spouse or partner forging these side alliances with your loved ones, you might be tempted to address it head-on. Sometimes you'll attempt a group confrontation. But watch how quickly the narcissist turns the table, accusing you of paranoia or hostility. In your confusion, heartbreak intensifies. For Andrea, each phone call from Dad or Jade became an interrogation. She began to doubt her own memories, even apologizing for things she never did. Kevin's infiltration strategy was working. Now, as a quick check, maybe you're seeing signs. Your partner confides in your sibling about your issues more often than you do, your friends are repeating negative talk your partner said about you. If so, comment, "I feel it," right now to let yourself and others know it's not just them. Next, we'll explore how heartbreak extends to your siblings, your parents, even your best friend, and how that extension ironically intensifies your feelings of isolation and heartbreak in ways you never anticipated. Let's talk about the nuance of heartbreak involving siblings and parents once the narcissist arrives. We usually think heartbreak is primarily between two lovers who are drifting apart. But when your entire family dynamic changes, when your mother, father, or siblings start hinting that maybe you're the problem, the heartbreak you experience is layered with familial betrayal. In the context of siblings, jealousy or rivalry can be a landmine that the narcissist sets off intentionally. For instance, if you have an older brother who always questioned your life choices, your narcissistic partner can feed that existing dynamic. They might have little private chats, dropping lines like, "I'm concerned about your sibling, did you know they're thinking about some questionable stuff with their finances or career?" With parents, it can be even more potent. Parents generally want to see you stable, financially and emotionally. The narcissist manipulates that parental desire by painting you as erratic, rebellious, or emotionally fragile. That's exactly what Kevin did in Andrea's story. The heartbreak Andrea endured wasn't just about not feeling loved by Kevin anymore, it included feeling misread or mistrusted by the family she adored. Here's the tricky part, heartbreak in a narcissistic scenario is seldom singled out. Usually, heartbreak is that personal ache over losing the illusions you cherished with your partner. But in narcissistic heartbreak, your sorrow is magnified by your family's confusion, your best friend's sudden coolness, or your own sense that you've become the problem child in the family. So the heartbreak becomes communal. You sense it at gatherings or over phone calls. You catch sideways glances, half-finished sentences, or worry-laced questions that confirm your loved ones might have swallowed your partner's twisted storyline. One might wonder, couldn't my family see through them? Well, narcissists can be very charismatic, especially if they spin a sob story. They exploit the assumption that if they're part of the family, they must be given the benefit of the doubt. They orchestrate heartbreak not just for you, but the entire system around you. Yet again, illusions run the show. But heartbreak can be harnessed. The heartbreak you share with your siblings or parents might catalyze deeper truths to surface. Some families actually unify once they realize the partner's manipulative pattern. Or your heartbreak might deepen if they never see that pattern. Next, Let's see how heartbreak can morph into coping strategies that might break the stranglehold of illusions across your entire social world. So, you find your heartbreak is not just about losing an idealized romance, it's also about feeling cornered as your support system falters. The heartbreak intensifies when your once trusted sibling starts quoting your partner's criticisms. So how do you cope? Create a quiet confirmation. You might need to engage with your siblings or parents individually, away from your partner's orchestrated presence. Gently describe the emotional manipulation you sense. Not accusing or begging them to switch sides, but calmly illustrating the pattern. The heartbreak you share with them can become a vantage point to see the illusions. Reinforce emotional boundaries. Heartbreak is intense. So your boundaries must be sharper than ever. If your partner tries to schedule you for a dinner with your cousin just so they can talk about your alleged irresponsibility, you can say, "I'm not comfortable with that dinner. Let's hold off." Minimizing forced group gatherings where your heartbreak and illusions get triggered helps you reclaim some emotional control. Document the contradictions. One cunning move narcissists use is to feed your circle different bits of half-truths, so they unify around your problem behaviors. That heartbreak can be less ephemeral if you keep track of what's being said. Keep a small file of contradictory statements or incidents. You might never use it publicly, but it can quell heartbreak by reminding you you're not imagining the distortion. Selective sharing. Heartbreak can lead you to overshare out of desperation for someone to see your side. Resist the urge to broadcast every detail about your heartbreak or your partner's manipulations. Confide in a few who you trust to handle your vulnerabilities with care. Oversharing can backfire if it reaches your partner's ears and fuels a new wave of illusions about you. Self-validation routines. One crucial heartbreak remedy: daily affirmations. Doesn't have to be cheesy. Maybe each morning, you open a document or notebook and write one quality about yourself you're proud of, like your ability to empathize or your loyalty. This small anchor can ground you amid heartbreak's swirling illusions. Therapy or mediated conversations. If heartbreak has made your family or siblings uncertain, you might propose a moderated conversation with a counselor or mediator, especially if your circle is open to hearing your perspective. The heartbreak might shift if they see the manipulative seeds your partner sows, all from a vantage of professional neutrality. The heartbreak from a narcissist's infiltration of your entire circle can be intense, but these strategies can slowly unravel illusions in your extended network. Up next, we'll discuss how heartbreak can actually push you toward a sense of freedom, enabling you to recreate a stable sense of self that can withstand illusions, manipulations, or heartbreak triggers in the future. It's time to step beyond heartbreak. Because heartbreak, ironically, can be the catalyst you never asked for but deeply needed. Once illusions are shattered, the emptiness can reveal a brand new path. Consider heartbreak a clarion call: this can't go on. The heartbreak clarifies that no matter how bright the illusions once shone, the cost, your emotional wholeness, is too high. Look at examples from high-profile individuals. Singer Kelly Clarkson's divorce was quite public, and while she never labeled her ex as narcissistic, she openly discussed emotional manipulations and boundary violations. She used heartbreak to reinforce her personal convictions, to push creative boundaries, and to craft an even stronger brand of self. That's your blueprint. Your heartbreak can help you form a new boundary blueprint. Freed from illusions, you can start reconstructing your sense of self, not from the vantage of heartbreak as a victim but heartbreak as a teacher. You can begin to see which relationships truly support you, which ones you need to handle with caution, and which ones you may let fade away altogether. Start small. Perhaps you reconnect with an old friend who was once sidelined by your partner. Or you volunteer in the local community, somewhere your partner never wanted you to spend time. Each act becomes a stepping stone, reinforcing that heartbreak can open the door to newly discovered passions or old hobbies you neglected. Also, heartbreak can give you wisdom to help others. People in heartbreak from narcissistic entanglements often become powerful mentors for those newly awakened to their illusions. By guiding a friend or relative out of illusions, your heartbreak starts to feel less like a tragedy and more like a transformative milestone. Though heartbreak rarely feels like a gift, heartbreak from a narcissist can lead you to a deeper self-knowledge you might never have discovered otherwise. In the final wrap-up, we'll tie all these insights together, offering a gentle nudge for you to step fully into your power, heartbreak or not. So, is heartbreak inevitable with a narcissistic partner who manipulates your entire circle? Truthfully, it often is. But heartbreak doesn't have to be the end of your story, it can be the beginning of a more authentic, self-honoring chapter. As you sift through illusions, watch your heartbreak shift from utter sadness to a determined calm. Thank you for letting me share these thoughts. If you gained something from this, do me a favor, tap the like button right now. It helps get this message to someone else who's drowning in heartbreak, uncertain if they're the only one. Or better yet, share this video with a friend who might be facing their own heartbreak with a narcissist. If you're new here, consider subscribing so we can keep building this supportive community. In the comments, I'd love to hear one word that describes your heartbreak journey at this moment, whether that's confused, hopeful, or resilient. Remember, heartbreak may be the final blow of illusions, but illusions can't stand forever once you see them. You are allowed a chance at real love, real honesty, and real respect, starting from within. Until next time, stay true to your heart, no matter how battered it feels, and trust that beyond heartbreak lies the life you genuinely deserve.